And we also got a decision that has to be made in regards to Saquon Barkley. Should he play? Should he stay on the bench? Right? And that's the question. Should the Eagles allow Saquon Barkley to chase history in a meaningless finale? And Cuzzo, you're the Eagles fan. What should they do with Saquon Barkley?
It's another tough question, man. You know, when you're chasing down a historical record that's been in the record books for 40 years, you're probably never going to have another opportunity to get to this record, right? I don't know the player that ran for 2,000 yards in a season twice. All right, we never seen that before. So just to be clear, I don't believe Saquon will have another opportunity to get the record. But with that being said, they got to sit him. This is not about that. This is about a championship. That's why we play sports. It's about championships. Championships overcome anything. There was a slight chance, 0.1% chance that we could still get the number one seed. Y'all play hard, y'all go hard. We're playing for nothing. We are locked into the number 2 seed. And as Saquon, as humble as he is, and said the right thing in front of the press conference, and saying that, hey, whatever the coach say, I respect that. And I think that's the way we need to go. But I want to be clear about this, and I want to be really clear. If Saquon and the offensive line went behind the scenes to Nick Sirianni and said, we want to go for the record, Nick going to have to do that. Because you could disrupt this team's chemistry if you don't do that. You see what I'm saying? You can't ask these players to sell out for you for 17, 18 weeks, and then they ask him for one request to get something that he desire as a group, not just as an individual, because it'll be as a team effort, then he will have to do it, in my opinion. I won't be upset if he chose to do it, but I feel that they shouldn't do it. We should stay pat, rest up, and get ready for this hard knock playoffs where I believe the Eagles have a legitimate shot to go win a Super Bowl. A legitimate one. With a legitimate defense, with a legitimate offense, with a legitimate identity. Run the ball, throw when needed, play defense great on third down. What are we really talking about? So they got all the elements to win a championship. I'm not afraid of no team in the NFL as far as the Eagles concerned when we stacked up talent versus talent, offense versus defense, defense versus offense. I feel that the Eagles could put out any 11 dudes to match up with any other 11 dudes around the NFL. So do we want to tamper with that and get injured? Right now, we pretty healthy. We got Goddard coming back right now. Kadobi Dean is coming back right now. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts is coming back off of the concussion. I would still rest Jalen Hurts at the same time. Get everybody healthy and go for a Super Bowl championship run. That's what he should do. That's what I believe they're going to do. And that's why I believe the Eagles going to win the Super Bowl. Just do that nugget on top. You know what I mean?
Zay, the mic is yours.
Yeah, I think the team, and I can't speak, I can't tone for it. I'm not an Eagles fan, so I can't speak for this, but I think the team would want the record for Saquon Barkley more than Saquon Barkley himself. They're going to play the Giants in the final game of the season. The record to break it is 101 yards.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine the team is telling Sirianni this. Let's see what Saquon Barkley will do in the first half. If he can get 80 yards in that first half, 90 yards in that first half, what do you think they're going to tell him?
They got to go for it. The minute he plays, got to go for
it. They're going to. Even let's say he has 50 yards in the first quarter. Let's say he has a crazy first quarter. Wasn't that like the conversation going to be had? Like, Saquon, you're right there. What do you want to do? Like it's really, he could say that he doesn't care for the record. He wants to win. He's more focused on winning than getting the record. But when you are 101 yards away, and he's had games where he's gotten 110 yards per game in like 8 different instances this season, and he's playing the Giants, the team that just literally said, we don't want to pay you. There's a lot at stake. But like I said, I think this is a situation where the teammates feel for him and they want him to accomplish it for him more than he wants to. Because his mind is like, all right, well, we're going to the playoffs. That's the right there. I'm playoff mode. I want to lock in. I want to win. So his mind is, I want to win. His teammates is like, I want you to get that record because they said you wasn't worth it. We saw the Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks.
They definitely said
how much? He's not gonna get that from anywhere else. We everyone see it. It went nationwide. So it's like I know the conversation behind closed doors is not. Yeah. It's not even coming from Saquon. It's probably coming from Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Jalen Carter. It's probably coming from everywhere else. But I can only imagine Kelsey is probably calling up the ownership right now. So you better make sure Saquon Barkley gets that mother effing record. That's how probably important it is to Philadelphia more than Saquon himself. So I think for this, right? I think the Eagles should allow him to chase history because it means something way more than just a record-breaking rushing thing. It's way bigger than that, right? Because now it's not only is you breaking the record, you're breaking a record against a rival. And not only are you breaking a record against a rival, you're breaking a record against a rival who said the running back is not worth the money. And it's so many layers that go into this rival. If they was playing the Panthers, I would say, no, forget it. For what? Whatever. You could get that in a quarter. It doesn't matter. Forget it. But since you're doing it against the Giants, why not just stomp the Giants fans down a little bit lower in the grave than getting Saquon Barkley to 2,106 yards? I think they should allow him to do it.
I'm not gonna lie. These topics that we had today, a lot of them I was split on. You know, that NFC North topic, I was split. The Raheem Morris, you know, was a little bit, closer than what I initially thought. The Joe Burrow was split. You know, I could see either argument, but I'm not gonna lie, this might top all of that. You know, I think Zay made some he
makes some good ones,
very good points. You know, where I wasn't really it really had me thinking about the direction that I want to go here. You know, obviously, your former team, you have a chance to destroy them more. You know, with regret on why they should have had paid you your money. You know, and incompetence, you get to expose it more. Absolutely. I get it. You know, that's a very valid point. And Claire, Saquon Barkley, I mean, he might get he need like 110, 108. He might get 90 on one play, taking it to the house and finish it up on the next drive. I mean, he's literally had that home run type of speed where he can literally do that in a couple plays. I mean, he has that talent. I get it. But I'm not going to lie. I don't really think they should be prioritizing that record. Just like I don't think the Bills should be prioritizing Josh Allen trying to win the MVP. Try to make that one last statement. This guy been playing with an injury all year. Rest him. Rest Saquon. I think when you are in the NFL, it's a team sport, a lot of egos, right? I want the ball, A.J. Brown, right? You're not getting me the ball, right? I get it. But that's where a head coach has to come in. You have to manage those egos. Don't entertain those individual accolades, right? That's the makeup of this team, okay? That's the makeup of winning a championship. Who cares about the undefeated season when we can have rest? Who cares about the record when we can have rest and try to go on to something bigger than the record, okay? I understand the record is big. It's going to cement Saquon Barkley in the Hall of Fame, potentially. This could be a Hall of Fame case right here. Really I get it. It could be his ticket there, but you want the Super Bowl ticket. And look, I get it. Nick Sirianni, he has the easiest job in America. Okay. The team is talented. He's a CEO. Just hire the coordinators. He hired good ones. They doing what they got to do. Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio doing their jobs correctly. The only issue he really had to manage was probably an overblown issue when it came to A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, which I think was just overblown about the passing game and all that. It wasn't really nothing, right? They could hash it out, right? Just call dial up a few plays to get A.J. Brown the ball, okay? Mr. Kellen Moore, all right, cool. We'll do that. Issue over. Now this is his biggest issue that he got to face. Should I play Saquon Barkley? Should I not? But then you have to take in consideration the dynamics. Do you want to put your first offensive line unit out there?
Absolutely.
Are you really going to do that and risk losing a lineman? His feet get caught up, under, he gets pushed down. His feet get caught up under the turf, and then he's out for the year. Now you decimated a little bit. Now your line looks different. Yep. Okay. All right, fine. I'm just not going to play my starting lineman. I'm going to play the backup. Well, you want to play Saquon Barkley behind your second unit?
No.
You have to take all these things in consideration.
That's why I said I have. You give him a half, just like in preseason. You give him a half.
I will say this, though, cousin. I will say this. Another element or another way to look at this, yes, Zay, like you said, is against the Giants, man. And the Giants disrespected them high level to the point they making the Giants look real stupid and incompetent. But what if they trying to hurt Saquon? What if they say, you think you're going to break this record on us? You know what I'm saying? We don't care if they throw the ball for 1,000 yards today. he won't get the record. And every time we touch the ball, we're gonna pile on this guy.
The game plan is right now probably is to make sure Saquon Barkley don't get the record. That's the game plan.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna be going mad hard. We don't want to be clowns. I don't want to be highlights for the rest of the next 60 years.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, right? Because Saquon Barkley is playing at a level this year. Even if they do game plan, let's stack the box. He go break out, and that's where it is. Because let's say they're on their own 20, and they send an all out blitz, every gap filled, and Saquon Barkley breaks out of that.
Oh, he's gone. I know.
That's in the odds.
I mean, they might break out. They might break out the 4-6 defense back into the NFL.
Right.
Okay.
The fact that you picked this list up, I want to be clear about this, and I think this is fair. And if I was Nick Sirianni, this is what I would drive home to the entire team and to Saquon. I would bring Saquon up in the front at a team meeting. Saquon, come to the front. We know you just got 2,000. You're on the verge of breaking this record. I would bring this list up you got right here and put it on the board. You have the best opportunity out of everybody that ran for 2,000 to win a Super Bowl. None of them even made a Super Bowl. You can get 2,000 and win a Super Bowl. That's different. So instead of getting that 21, get 2,000 with a ring on the same year. And that might be your real ticket to the Hall of Fame. And that's
he may have another 2,000 2,000-yard season next year. Who knows, right? With that offensive line. That's how I end the
argument in front of the team. To tell the team, like, y'all really want to help Saquon get to Hall of Fame? Y'all really want to help his legacy? Y'all really want to help his status? Let's get him this 2,000, which we already did, and get a championship on top of that. And then we talking something different.
We got to find out what the team is saying. That's the thing. Because, like I said, the team might want that more for him.
I know.
That's
the problem. He got to have a meeting. Listen, it's going to be, no matter what decision is going to be made, somebody is going to be unhappy with the decision that he makes. You understand that? Like, there's no way he's going to please everybody in the locker room.
And that's where Nick Sirianni is going to have to finally coach.
As much as managing that.
All right. And look, this is my last point. Because I really, this is my home run right here. My home run point. All right. That's really going to keep me where I'm at and why he should not be chasing history right now. Clear. Because guess what? This history that he's chasing, that he could break, may have an asterisk behind it. 18 games, folks. Okay, let's not forget the context here. Eric Dickerson, I believe he did it in 16, 17 games?
16 games.
16 games. Yeah. Clear. Context is everything. Okay.
Well,
he did it in 16 games.
He would also do it, but Eric Dickerson definitely had more carries, just to be clear.
Yeah. True, he had more carries. Clearly, that's gonna up in Saquon Barkley's case on Sunday. He's gonna have a lot of carries, probably the most of his career.
I would tell you this.
To get the record.
I would tell you this. People don't like when years go by, people won't even bring that up. And I'm gonna tell you why. OJ Simpson did it in 14 games. You understand that? He got 2,000 yards in 14 games. Yeah. When Dickerson broke his record in 1984 and he played 2 extra games, nobody cared. Do you understand what I'm saying? So these things don't be as heavy. Maybe now because social media, I guess, but nah, 16 games, 17 games, you got 20, you're the guy.
2,000 rush yards, 2,000
rush yards. And now he has that extra game. He has that 18th game because the NFL increased the regular season to 18 games. To me, that's an asterisk in itself, for the naysayers out there. Even though he's having a phenomenal year, nothing to take away from him, still MVP caliber in consideration, but 18 games compared to 16 games, I mean, that's an advantage right there. That's an asterisk that you can probably pinpoint over there. Listen, we don't really need the rushing record right now. What the Eagles need to worry about is winning the championship.
I agree with that. That's it.
Real quick, right now, my last only point is, as much hate that Sirianni gets from not only myself, a lot of people, and some Philly fans, he is a player's coach. He's going to talk to the player. This is what you want to do.
I agree with that.
We're going to do it. Like, you want to do it, we're going to do it. If this was Belichick's like, yo, you said it down.
That's his that works against him. You see, Nick Sirianni is too passionate. And there's nothing wrong. Like, it works for him sometimes, the passion, barking at fans, home fans, barking at players on the sideline, opposing players on the team. He coaches with passion, but sometimes your passion could be what hurts you as a man in the end. Okay? So, you can't be like Dan Campbell. Oh, you want to go for it? All right, let's go for it. You got to feel, too. For the game. You can't coach with passion. What happened, what came back to bite Dan Campbell last year was passion. Against the Cowboys. Oh, Holden, we're going to move back. We still going to go for 2? We want to go for 2 still? We're going to go for 2 still. That's what hurt him. because that came back to bite him in that game, and it came back to bite him in the end in the playoffs. We can't have that happening with Nick Sirianni. Or you want to break the record, and he breaks his leg. Knock on wood. No.
No. You're right about that.
All right. No, we gotta prepare for the Super Bowl, man. Even though y'all not getting there.
Okay.
All right.
That's
I mean, y'all can prepare to watch, and you can go. You can go to the Super Bowl as a fan. Get a lot of tickets. You be right in there.
Let me tell you about that. Let me tell you what's funny about him saying that. This is the funniest part. Minnesota. Let's use Minnesota. Let's say Minnesota be the number one, and let's say that's where we have to go. We got to go to Minnesota. No disrespect to Minnesota defense is nowhere near our defense. When I say it's nowhere near, it's nowhere near. I think they're in the middle of the pack. Y'all can look it up. They probably like ranked 16. We definitely ranked number one. So it's like, it's pretty funny. And the defensive players that we have on our team, our defensive staff, linebacker core, secondary defensive line, it smacks them. It's like pretty easy. You know what I mean? Forget about our offensive weapons. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, Saquon. It smacks them too. So it's actually pretty funny when somebody say they're not going to Super Bowl. That's actually comedy.
I mean, look, I'm being respectful. Okay, the Eagles are a good football team.
I know.
Puzzle. It's not like last year when I'm calling them fraudulent. Last year, I was calling them fraudulent every week, and they showed me they was. By the end of the result. But it's not like that this year. I'm not calling them fraudulent. They're a good football team this year. Okay,
it's impossible.
I mean, they're a good football team. That's it. We'll see if they show up in playoffs.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.